What's up guys, it's your boy Niko from Balsa's Life, and for today we are going to review the Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens for the Sony E-mount. Can it live up to its hype? Well, we'll find out. Alright, so this is going to be a quick review of this lens, which is, a very hyped lens on YouTube. I think all Sony APS-C shooters have this lens in their camera bags. So let's start with some basics. This is a 16mm focal length for the APS-C line of Sony. So that means the Sony A6000 series, 6000, 6300, 64, 65, and 6600, and it has an aperture of 1.4. so this lens opens up really wide. It's a very fast lens. Why did I get this lens? Number one, for its price, it's a very value for money lens. I bought this lens for 20,000 pesos from an online store called Santa Delivery PH, which is a highly recommended store, by the way. Yes, I got it for 20,000, and for 20,000 pesos, I don't think you'll get a better value for your money for a lens that could perform like this. This lens is very sharp at 1.4. Number one, this lens is very good in low light situations. Also, if you want to achieve that very blurry background, this is a perfect lens for you. One downside is if you're the type who likes flexibility when it comes to your focal lengths, so you need zoom lenses. Sorry to say, this is a prime lens, which for most people is not a disadvantage, but if you want to carry just one lens and you need a lot of focal lengths, then this won't do for you. But usually prime lenses are sharper when it comes to image quality as opposed to zoom lenses, and yes, I could confirm that. I've used this for our channel, for our family videos, for vlogging. One downside, if you're thinking of getting this for vlogging, is that it doesn't have image stabilization. So if your camera doesn't have IBIS or in-body image stabilization, you need to take extra steps to have footage that is not shaky, it's not hard to watch. So I take, extra effort in trying to hold my camera, trying to counter any movement, because this doesn't have image stabilization. My camera is an a6400, doesn't have IBIS. One way to counter that is this. Use a gimbal. For this setup, since this is a pretty front-heavy lens, the smaller gimbals couldn't handle it, especially with my setup, which I use an ND filter and the Manfrotto zoom magnetic filter adapters. The smaller gimbals like this Crane M2 and the PGYTech G6 Plus didn't work with it. That's why I got the Zhiyun Weebill S, which I will review for another time. Also the Manfrotto zoom magnetic filter adapters, amazing product. Again, review for another day. Okay, so back to the lens. Yep, it's a very versatile lens because of its low light capabilities. 1.4, you can't go wrong there. Even in a very dark place, you will get nice image quality with this lens. For photography, if you're taking landscapes, it's amazing because of its wide angle. Night photography. For portrait photography, this is not an ideal focal length, but I've tried it. If you're okay with portrait photography with a little bit of, you know, the character of the background, because this is not a very tight lens. If you want just your subject, the face of the subject, then don't go with this. But I like to include, you know, the location of my subject. So what I do is I use this. I go really, really close because this is a wide angle lens. And, you know, I include the background. You can have it blurred, but still, you know, play with the colors. It looks pretty nice. Just one thing to note, since this is a 1.4 lens, and if you are going to use that widest aperture outdoors during the day, make sure you invest in an ND filter. You know, I got an ND filter so that when we are outside, you know, I don't get overexposed, because at 1.4 you are letting in so much light, and to achieve that blurry background without overexposing your shots, you need an ND filter. Now let's test this lens. I'm gonna put it on my camera and let's see if there's a significant change in image quality. Let's go. All right, so there you go. That's the Sigma 16mm. What do you think? You know, I think, can you see more blur in the picture? And I forgot to mention, one of the things that surprised me about this lens is that its autofocus, the speed of the autofocus is almost as fast as the Sony native lenses. So let's try that. Look at this. See? Fast. It's as fast as the Sony lenses. Let's try another item. There you go. Even the tracking works. See, I can see the box. It locks right into my face. Also, the focal length, the minimum focusing distance in this lens is amazing. It's, if I'm not mistaken, let me check. It's 25 cm. The minimum focusing distance is 25 cm. Wait, let me get my phone so that I can show you. All right. So you can see that it's focused on this Manfrotto Pixi Mini. That's how close it is to the lens. You see that? You see that? It's that close to the lens. So this is amazing. If you only could bring one lens with you, this is a very good candidate for that. And you know, sometimes if I want to bring my camera and just one lens to an event, family event, some gathering, most of the time I end up bringing this because it's very versatile when it comes to lighting. It's wide enough to take group photos. It's rare that I need a telephoto lens when meeting up with friends, families. Maybe if you're going on a trip, that's when you think about, you know, which lens to bring if you could only bring one. But for social gatherings, for vlogging, this is a very, very versatile lens to bring if you are only bringing one lens. So that's it for the Sigma 16mm 1.4 lens. I highly recommend that if you are on the Sony APS-C system and you still don't have this lens in your camera bag, you better get this lens. That 1.4 blur sometimes makes it look like you are on a full frame camera. So if you want to achieve that effect, grab this lens right away. And if you are getting this lens, I highly recommend that you get it from Santa Delivery PH. I will put the links in the description of their Facebook page and also their store in Lazada. If you're in the Philippines, I highly recommend that you get your gear from them. This is in no way a sponsored post. I just have a very, very great experience with them. They are great with customer service. They deliver the items fast. You have so many payment options. Again, this is not a sponsored video. I just love recommending stores that, you know, think of their customers' well-being. So 2 thumbs up to Santa Delivery PH. And that's it for today's video. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so that you will be notified whenever we post new videos. Also, like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram, and we will see you in our next videos. See ya!